How is everybody?
What's up, Wasteland? How's everybody doing today? It's a
Welcome back
lovely,
to
lovely day in the Mojave.
SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Yeah,
You
we
can
got some
peek
fun
through the
stuff
letters
today.
there. There we go. Harris, how you doing today, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
Oh, hanging in there, hanging in there. Just another lovely, lovely, lovely day in the Wasteland. So,
That's what
we're
I'll get
surviving.
into. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally the wasteland still, but it's rebuild the wasteland. You know, we're trying to make it
yeah,
look like Megaton here soon. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we got some good. We've got a fun topic today, but more importantly, though, we got some fun news we want to share. Recently, it was reported that for Fallout Season 2, we have a new actor that has apparently joined the cast. Kumail Nanjiani is going to be in Season 2 of Fallout. Rumor has it he's going to be playing a high-ranking member of the Brotherhood of Steel. That's been reported by Eurogamer. It hasn't been confirmed anywhere else, but Eurogamer tends to be decently spot on about this stuff. So, that's been getting around. Kumail Nanjiani, Brotherhood of Steel. We're gonna see him in some power armor. He'll be rocking up on everybody, just being like, "What's up?"
Yeah,
I could totally see it. My question is that will his custom power armor suit have a cutout where you could see his abs? Because I mean, that guy is like sick fit.
There's no way you don't see him, but maybe not in the power armor. Is my guess. Because there's no way he hops on there because he doesn't. I mean, literally, he's a very devoted actor. Like his roles feel like they're very devoted characters in a way. Kingo's very devoted in his biggest role. I guess people know the Eternal stuff, but also got super ripped and fit for that and got to show off none of it in that movie. So he's been trying to show off all of it in every other movie since. So
yeah, he put the work in, man. He put the work in and then didn't even get to show it off. You know, I mean, he got in like the same level of shape that Chris Pratt did for Star-Lord, didn't even get one shirtless scene. You know, it's such a bummer. Like, because that's a ton of effort. Like, dude, when guys, as we get older, it gets tougher and tougher to get fit. I'm trying to do that right now, and that takes a level of dedication and focus and other assistance to pull that off. So to not have the gratification of being able to show it off, that's rough, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and Johnny wasn't necessarily a larger dude, but it's a hard thing, especially like Pratt and everybody else that goes from like, okay, this is the one type of character I'm used to being cast as, and let's cut that off completely and try a new angle at this. Good luck, you know? But it works. It worked for him. It worked for Nanjiani, and hopefully it keeps working. But Nanjiani is a Brotherhood of Steel. Kingo's devoted. What's the other one I'm thinking about? It's just popping on my brain. I don't know.
The roles the roles that he's played. I mean, he was in The Big Sick.
I was just thinking of Only Murders in the Building because he's super Christmas based in there, and he's like,
and he's showing and they're writing clues on his abs in that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he's super focused on one thing, and I feel like him having that specific focus on the Brotherhood of Steel, and I could see him being the more religious aspect of the group in a way.
That could be interesting.
And leading it from maybe like a more, because he's kind of an eccentric, charismatic dude, so maybe that would be a fun way for him to like lead the cult kind of, or lead the religion kind of.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that the roles that he plays, at least these days, he plays them with his. I think the best term is that he plays his roles with his tongue firmly planted in his cheek. You know, I mean he's even in Star Wars, like when he was in, oh my God, which show was it? Was it, why am I blanking? They all blend together after a minute. I'm looking on his IMDb right now. IMDb, don't fail me now.
I don't remember him. What, was he like an alien or something?
No, he was a Jedi, or he was a con man playing a Jedi, pretending to be a Jedi in Star Wars. Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, he's very, very, very good at playing these pseudo devout types that have just like this layer of sarcasm or slime over them. You know, he's great at playing like a fake genuine person. You know, like, so he makes great con men. So it could be interesting to see him playing either something that is, you know, like to type, or maybe he's getting the chance to stretch and play something a little bit more serious. I mean, we do know that, you know, Fallout is very serious in terms of just like content and violence and stuff like that. But they also do have a very good degree of that wild and wacky Wasteland, which I think makes this casting absolutely perfect, because, you know, you've got a guy who can play the straight drama, but also just has that little level of just like
insanity, but
but it's just a little unhinged. Yeah, exactly. You know, and he's just got that wild, wacky Wasteland kind of feel to him. So I think that honestly, that this is perfect casting for almost just about any role. High-ranking Brotherhood of Steel. I'm intrigued. Because, you know, you don't normally get the wacky with the Paladins and the Knights. You know, you mostly get the wacky with, you know, the more cowboyish or the alien aspects and stuff like that. So to see someone who isn't necessarily like the most serious within the Brotherhood, you don't go to the Brotherhood for comedy.
No.
You know, so I'm intrigued. And again, the casting, I'm willing to bet is legit. I don't know about the role, but it could be interesting. So
sorry, keep going.
No, I'm just thinking that it could be very interesting. It's not on his IMDb yet, but that doesn't mean anything. This is just a recent announcement. He might not have even shot it yet. So maybe he's one of the scribes. Yeah, head scribe. I don't know about a paladin, but maybe a scribe. You know, there could just be like some sort of, you know, just like wacky character. Yeah. I guess I can't. The words are failing me right now for the best way to describe his essence. You know.
Yeah, I guess just the thought process behind all that is still kind of what leads me to maybe the more religious side of the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Which
okay.
allows some of that eccentricity to kind of flow a little bit more.
Eccentric. Also, yes, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. He plays eccentric characters, and sometimes he'll do that, you know, completely like straight, and sometimes he's playing a con man who doesn't believe what he's selling, you know. So but either way, he's got that same level of commitment to the bit all the way through, and it makes him a very, very engaging actor as a result.
He's almost like Walton Goggins, and he can play eccentric and eccentricity in a very subtle way. Like you just said, he can still be serious while doing all that, while being caked up in makeup like a ghoul. I don't think it would be a ghoul or anything, obviously. Brother.
Nah.
But I could see him kind of almost being. I'm thinking of Mole from within a little bit. Gigwise is kind of on the same thought process. I'd like to see the Enclave come into play eventually. I could see him almost being an Enclave member inside of the Brotherhood or something like that. I don't know. I just would like to see him in a different type of power armor if he gets in one. You know.
Yeah. I mean, based on the character they played in Obi-Wan, for those of you guys who didn't see Obi-Wan, first off, I know that a lot of people didn't necessarily like it for its portrayal of Vader. I loved it. I thought it was a great show. I mean, I love most of the Star Wars shows. Still haven't watched The Acolyte, but I'll get to that at one point. But I did watch Skeleton Crew, and I love that.
So good.
Yeah. But
real quick, Skeleton Crew video out right now. Schmook's first video on SciTrek. Check it out after this.
Oh, dude. All right. I'm going to check that out. I'm putting that in my playlist for later today, so that's awesome. You guys should too. But in Obi-Wan, he plays a con man pretending to be a Jedi to help get refugees or to get people out of the out to the Outer Rim and get them to basically get them to safety. And so he is really, really good at playing, you know, the con men and the pseudo-religious types and things like that. It almost makes me feel like if we're talking about a con man who winds up in a position of power, instead of being a member of the Brotherhood, what if it's a swerve and he's playing a role like Fantastic? So, you know, from the con man who convinced the NCR that he was a scientist who knew how to operate Helios 1.
Which he's the smart guy.
Yeah.
If they've taken it over, why not?
Yeah.
That would allow the eccentricity to flow as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be that. Or, you know what? Honestly, the other person who I could see playing fantastic, because they're going to stop by Helios 1 at one point. That actually is a practical solar farm out in the Mojave, halfway between Vegas and Los Angeles, or 2/3 of the way. So
I do love that they've kind of made it a thing, like in our own kind of not Fallout way, but still, it's a thing.
Well, I mean, it was a real thing to begin with. That's what they based it off on the game. That's where the game was inspired for. It's been there the whole time. Yeah. No, I mean, basically the Fallout developers took that entire region of the map and whoop, just like dropped it. So they're like, oh, solar farm, we're turning this into a laser Death Star. Let's go.
Please. No
yeah,
shit. Okay.
Exactly. It's like, it's right there. So yeah. So, I mean, it's there. I'm sure you could do some practical mock-ups and do some CGI mock-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, right. No, seriously, great character. I'm also thinking that he'd be a great Fantastic, but you know who else might be a great Fantastic, and he's already been announced for the show? Macaulay Culkin. So I know we were kind of like saying that he's probably Arcade Gannon. I do like that casting too, but this is, if we're talking like mad genius type, doesn't necessarily have to actually be a genius, just has to sell himself as one.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a distinct possibility.
And I like Macaulay Culkin. And that would also be a fun character for him to sink his teeth into. Arcade Gannon, as great of a character as he is, he's not necessarily a pivotal. I mean, he's a
companion. He's a companion, So I mean, he has pretty deep plot line and goes a ways along, but it could be interesting to see. If we're talking like mad scientist types. Those are the two that the kooky mad scientists that seem to be Macaulay Culkin's vibe. Those two come to mind. And I can't believe I forgot about Fantastic originally. I just looked at him and I was like, oh, that's Arcade Gannon. But we got a lot of time between now and then. And I feel like that he could be a great choice for that as well when you really start breaking it down.
Well, Arcade Gannon was kind of based off of, I know he's not the most popular guy in the world, and I guess who knows, we won't dive into the depth of it by any means, but Zachary Levi is a very goofy kind of guy, and he feels like a guy that would be a good companion. It's like, all right, here's Chuck in the Fallout universe hanging out with you, booyah. Yeah. I could see them, I don't necessarily see them casting Zachary Levi, although it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, maybe help him normalize himself to the general public again.
Yep.
Or just find somebody that would be a little more Zachary Levi-esque, because I love Macaulay Culkin and I could see him as an Arcade Gannon, but he wouldn't necessarily have that. I guess he has a consistent goofiness to him, but he does have a little bit of a more serious tone to him as well nowadays. And I feel like Helios 1, a little Fantastic would be fantastic, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I could see Arcade Gannon going more, not necessarily Levi, but that Levi esque type of character actor.
Sure.
A little bit more goofy and whimsical, and allow a little eccentricity to flow, like we've been talking about, but still have that serious note with Macaulay Culkin, which would allow Johnny to do all kinds of fun stuff. I don't know. There's new info. I'm a fan.
I love it. Oh, Danny Trejo ghouled up would be great to see as Raul from. Oh, yeah. Danny Trejo's Raul, that'd be dope as hell. Now, the one thing about Danny Trejo, he has a contract where he says that if he's playing a bad guy, the bad guy has to die. So that could determine a canon ending for Raul at that point, because that is one of his plot points, is whether he survives or not. So that could be fun.
Is Danny Trejo, is Raul truly a villain, or would he be more
No, but Danny Trejo's got a habit of like dying on camera. So, I think it just depends on your definition of villain versus anti-hero at that point. So,
and
he does. And he's also, but if we're also talking like 15 years past the events of New Vegas, and he's a ghoul, at 80 years old, he'll just need less makeup, right? So
that's true.
Hey, it's economical at that point. Why not cast him? So,
literally. Right. Great minds think alike, as they say.
Yep. So, but that actually brings us to kind of like the core of today's episode, which is, who do we think is going to show up in season 2? Who do we think is likely to show up? All right, and this is outside of the core cast, because obviously we're going to get Ella Purnell. Obviously, So we're going to get Lucy, we're going to get Maximus, we're going to get the Ghoul, we're going to get Hank. You know, we know that these folks are going to come back. So
Gigwise, thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Hell yeah. Appreciate
Glad to
it.
have you.
Yeah. Come hang out, watch some Star Trek Enterprise, you know? And watch all the videos a day early, which is always nice. Very nice.
Yep. All right. So we know we're going to get the core cast. I mean, that's kind of by default. I guess my question is who do we think? Let's start with New Vegas. And Harris, you have our new Rankatron here. This was the technology that delayed the episode just a touch. Yeah, our handy dandy tier list. We go from Nah Man all the way up to definitely in season 2.
Yes. We got Nah Man, well, maybe. Good chance, highly likely, and of course, definitely in season 2. And we'll switch right between and back and forth with this tab, which is Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one. Yeah. So, of course.
Oh, everybody. This is every named NPC. Oh, my God. This is going to take forever. We
don't have to do that. We will see the major ones, and if we see somebody we get excited for.
Yeah, let's just shout it out.
That's
and in chat, feel free to join in here. We are eager to see we are eager to see what y'all think. So okay, let's start off. First one on that list I saw was, I know Anders, but there's hey, Modest Traveler, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I know that, can we bring that back up? Or the list? I know Anders is the top of the list, but the first one that I saw was Arcade Gannon. Like that was the first big one. I think I know I was just pitching Fantastic as Macaulay Culkin role. I think we're going to get Arcade Gannon. I think he's a guarantee. I think he's definitely. So as much as I was saying that, I think upon real deep introspection here that I've had in the last 5 minutes, I think we're looking at Macaulay Culkin's Arcade Gannon, and I think he's guaranteed to show up.
I'm a fan.
Yep. Oh, Peter, you gotta play it at one point. It's super cheap on Steam, and it's such a fun game. It is deep and it is engrossing. And I love me some deep RPGs that you get to sink hours and hours and hours and hours and hours into. I'm rocking Baldur's Gate 3 right now. I've got a barbarian build that I'm just tearing through the game with. It's just so much fun, but it does give me that same kind of just like level of depth that New Vegas does, which is the reason why I love games like this. So, yeah. Oh, I think we are going to see synths at one point. I do think we will see synths at one point. We saw the Brotherhood come from the Commonwealth. We could see other stuff come from the Commonwealth too. So, I would put that as a maybe synths.
Synths? All right, let me go ahead and type that on here.
Yeah. I think we might see a couple of them. I think we might see the couple of the companions. I do think we could see. I think Boone will show up because Boone is one of those characters that people really, really identify with and feel for. He's a character that people relate to. So I think it could be interesting to catch him 15 years down the line or 14 years down the line after whatever ending they canonize. Yeah, at one point you're going to see the red beret and somebody's head is going to disappear in a fine red mist and you'll just see the beret and shades, and yeah, I think he's going to pop up at one point. So,
you said Boone?
Yeah, I think Boone is.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I think he's a good chance.
Good chance?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you. If he's not a good chance, he's highly likely. He's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Let's make him a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, big. It'll make sense a little bit bigger too.
There you go.
That easily visible, I guess, for everybody. Cool.
Yeah. You guys can all see this. Boone was my second, my first. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, he was my. He's been my constant companion in most of my runs. I just love sniper builds though. So having like two snipers on a battlefield together, you're picking guys off before they get anywhere close to you.
Always. So, I feel like Fallout's almost the opposite of Skyrim and Elder Scrolls games, where then you want to almost play like the stealth archer always. So you always have, I mean, it's just what we always kind of revert back to naturally, you know, stealth archers are stealth archers. So you have the dumb fodder person to go fight for the person in front of you in the Elder Scrolls. But whenever you get to Fallout, it's like, all right, you're a sniper and I'm also probably a sniper, or also I'll just shoot with machine guns, whatever else weapon I have, like as much as I can. That kind of
back in my EverQuest days, I never played World of Warcraft, but I was into EverQuest really big when I was in college, and I was always the rogue. I was always the DPS. So I'm all about having somebody else tank and take the hits for me so I can, you know, stab from behind or snipe from behind. So big into that.
That's the best.
Yep.
You know, real quick, just before we keep going, Gigwise said we need Private Detective Valentine and Ellie and Piper. I love Ellie and Piper and all that. I don't think they're likely. I don't necessarily think Nick Valentine's likely, but someone who shares a similar model. How about the Mysterious Stranger?
Oh, ooh.
Do you think they'll go that route or that angle at all? Kind of add almost a mystical element to the show a bit?
Maybe. I mean, you know, but here's the thing though. Yeah, I think maybe. Here's the deal with the Mysterious Stranger. He's kind of dude shows up out of nowhere, snipes a bad guy, and disappears.
Yeah.
And they've explained the lore. He's got, you know, this Mysterious Stranger. There's Lady Luck, who's his wife? She's in New Vegas.
It's the other. It's the.
Is it Lady Luck or am I misremembering?
It's not Lady Luck, I don't think, because it's the opposite. It's not like a Mysterious Stranger. She's almost like not helpful in a way, right? But ends up
Misfortune.
Being Misfortune. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Misfortune, and then
and how to explain a random guy appearing randomly. Good point.
Yeah, and then the Lonesome Drifter is supposedly his son. And the three of them are all in New Vegas. I'm gonna say this. I feel like he could show up as a bit of fan service, or one of them could show up as a bit of fan service, but I don't feel like the story is deep enough to justify them.
Well,
you know, I don't feel like their plot line is deep enough. They're a device. They're a game mechanic. You know.
Yeah, as I said it, I kind of thought of it because if they did do it, they may have to actually find a way to explain it, and I don't know if that's something Bethesda wants them to do.
No, I mean, you know, I like the Mysterious Stranger being a mysterious stranger. I don't need the explanation behind him porting in, sniping, and porting out. Don't need that. A
little mystery and shabby, you know. It's not bad.
But it could be fun if at one point, you know, they're like, "Oh, we got the cavalry," and all of a sudden you just hear that twang, and then poof, and then we're out. You know, it could be great. It could be a great bit. It could be a great bit, especially if used correctly. Like, you know, they hint that they've got some backup or something, and suddenly somebody's head just disappears, you know, and it's like, and you just hear the twang and a revolver, you know, like spinning or something. Like that could be dope. But I don't need the explanation behind the Mysterious Stranger. Like that literally defeats the purpose. Yeah, exactly. You know, and if you keep him on camera for more than 30 seconds, you're almost going to feel obligated to start exploring who, what, when, where, why, and how. And we don't need that, you know. Don't ruin the mystique.
The not Mysterious Stranger. Sorry, the Lonesome Drifter might make a little bit more sense. He might be maybe. Well, did we put Mysterious Stranger? And I think I just said him here. I didn't mean to put him in.
I think Mysterious Stranger is a man, sure, but I think that there is. I think the Lonesome Drifter is a maybe.
That could be like that happy medium. Just meet everybody in the middle.
Yeah. I do like I do agree, Alex. The show does have so many dumb luck resolutions that the Mysterious Stranger could be one of them. It could be that they're cornered, they're in all kinds of trouble, and suddenly out of nowhere, bam, 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 just a nod and a tip of the hat, and then they disappear. You know, who was that Mysterious Stranger? What's that?
Just a little quick wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and literally,
and then he's out. It could be like, who was that Mysterious Stranger? Oh wow, you know, like. Okay, now I want to see that.
Now I want to see just say that. And that doesn't actually take away from anything. You could literally have everyone being confused as that happens, which would add a fun little element of mysteriousness,
Yeah.
And if not, bring in that drifter, because that's easy. That one's easier.
Yeah. Oh, members of the Dead Horses. Yeah, I do think that could be an interesting. I do think that this could be an interesting inclusion coming right out of the DLC. I guess without knowing the plot line, it's kind of tough to make these assumptions. Do we think we're going to see Benny, though? There's a great question.
Yeah, I think Benny's the next big one that we see.
Yeah. I think there's a good chance. I think there's a good chance for Benny.
My only hesitation, because I think there's a good chance as well. My only hesitation for a maybe would be, well, there's a lot of ways for him to die at the end of the game.
That's true. Yeah, he's typically it could be a flashback.
That's true too.
They do use a lot of flashback in the show. I'm willing to bet that he might be a flashback.
Balloon, I'm kind of with you. It would be really cool and neat if Benny did survive. I usually try to save him.
Oh no, he's dead. He's dead. He's in. I blow his head off at first opportunity. Yeah.
But if I don't save him, I let the Caesar people get him. Typically.
Oh, ooh, that's savage. All right. Well, I mean, I try to save him. Or I let him get crucified on the roadside. Like, good God!
At that point,
that's quite the wide. That's quite the wide berth there.
Yeah, it depends on my stats.
Yeah,
it's like actually.
All right. Bert, Big Beard, Big Sal, boxcars. I mean, Chazz. Do we think Chazz is going? Man's got a brain tumor and he's already dying in the game, and it's 14 years later. I think he's fucking dead.
I agree.
I think he'll be a flashback character, though, so I think it's highly likely, actually.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I think there are two ways that could go. Oh, God. What is the old guy that was the leader before Chazz that is in the DLC? Elijah, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah. Ulysses? No. No, not. No. Ulysses was a former member of the Legion. He wasn't the leader. And then there's also Joshua Graham.
Oh, Graham. That's what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah.
He was the former leader.
No, he was a former Legionnaire. He was
Legionnaire.
He was the Legionnaire before and then failed at the first battle. Yeah, he was the first legate before Lanius, and then he lost his position and was set on fire and thrown to the bottom of a canyon for his failure at Hoover Dam.
Okay, that's right.
And then survived, claiming his Mormon religion kept him alive.
It's been a long time. But I almost feel like he would be just as likely as... I would place Graham and Legate Lanius both at the same level, that they might have survived somehow or some way. And they're more likely to see if there is a leading remnant of Caesar's Legion. Yeah,
I actually think Legate Lanius is highly likely.
Okay.
If we're gonna see, I think it's much more likely that we're gonna see Lanius alive in current time. If we encounter the Legion at all, and if you're heading to New Vegas, you're gonna see them at one point. They got 9-10 episodes. You're gonna see them at one point. And yes, the Stanleys, Matthew Perry did voice Benny. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. Thank you for an incredible body of work. He just nailed that character so hard. So it bums me out to think that we might not see, or that we wouldn't get to see Matthew Perry as older Benny.
That would be really cool.
It would have been really cool. Yeah.
Not so feasible. Would you put Joshua Graham in highly likely as well? Or would you make him good chance or maybe a little lower?
I mean, okay, well, here's the thing. It depends on the context in which the Legion shows up. You could go Ulysses, you could go Graham, you could go Lanius. I feel like you're going to get one, unless they're going to dedicate like most of the season to it. I think Graham could be good chance.
Okay, that's kind of where I'm thinking as well. I'm with you. There's only going to be one, and the only way the others are going to show up, there's only going to be one in present time, most likely.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to play off of Graham versus the rest of Caesar's Legion to a degree. I don't know if that'll be the case. but I feel like it's one or the other, and then probably flashbacks of all three if they go with that.
Maybe. I feel like it's got to make sense. You don't want to see them in there like the damn Power Rangers, you know? You want to make sure that it makes sense for them to be there, and they each have their own unique storylines and stuff like that. It might be underserved to see like the three of them in a room together, just being like, "Ha ha, we are Kaiser's Legion," you know? And it's like, okay, you know, I mean, they've spent so much time building these characters up. I don't know if they could all coexist in the same room together.
So. No, I'm almost thinking like back in the day, if you have a quick story or something and you have a flashback of them sitting in a tent planning around a table of a map or something.
It could be fun to see them showing up sort of like the way they showed Mr. House, you know, like teasing him in the pre-world. It could be like, you know, back in the day, back during the first attack on Hoover Dam, you get Kaiser and you get Joshua Graham in full legged armor. That could be dope.
Excuse my French, but same shit, different day. Like just approach wise, you know? Yeah. It'd be a simple thing to do, and I think it'd set the precedence in a way. You might see Caesar in a flashback, but him and the Leggett are probably dead.
Yeah, I feel like that at least Caesar's dead. And I feel like it's very, very likely Caesar's dead, but it's more than likely. And it could be Lanius. I feel like Lanius is going to be there because who else is going to lead?
Joshua Graham is the only one I can think of. That's why I guess he's.
Oh shit! Yeah. What if Lanius and Caesar are both dead and the Legion is headless and suddenly Graham returns as the bastard son or the prodigal son returns?
Yeah. That's kind of where the thought process was going with that.
That actually could be dope as hell. That could be. You know, man. All right, now I'm hyped.
you know.
Yeah.
They just have so many different angles they can take. I don't know what they will, but damn.
Yeah.
They got great options.
Yep. Okay, let's go back to the list here real quick.
Yeah.
Canyon Runner, Captain Gillis. We will see reps of the NCR. Absolutely.
That's
yeah, the captains. I think we're gonna see
Cass is an easy one, I think. I think we almost see the cameo.
She could actually be like the season's like guest star, you know, or something like that. But I haven't. Yeah, I could see that.
Good chance, maybe.
I think we could put her on. Yeah, I just don't know enough. Like, well, let's think about this. Let's think about what the plot line is. The plot line is Lucy and the Ghoul are chasing down Hank. And Hank has fled to New Vegas, so we're definitely going to see House. We're definitely going to see Yes Man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so those are definitely in season 2.
Mr. House and Yes Man are definitelys.
Yep.
Cass though. Shit, I almost want to put her as a definitely because they like you said, they're going on a journey to get to New Vegas. What's on the way? The little, I guess, merchant house, is that what you would call it, that she's staying at and works at typically. It's a perfect and easy game reference and nod just to go right there and do a quick, all right, here, we can do a little trading along the way. Maybe the Ghoul has some stuff he can trade. Get some more.
I think that finding a caravan makes sense, that they would find caravan characters, and it could be interesting to see some of the other caravan companies too, but I feel like Cass is like natural at that point, depending on the ending that is canonized. Who is it? The brother and sister, the Van Graffs? We might see them as well if we're getting caravan politics.
Oh, they're so totally dead, but it would also be cool to see at the same time.
Yeah,
because almost everyone kills it's the Van Graffs.
That's true. Yeah.
But again, they also fit in that caravan kind of thought process pretty perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I think that we're definitely going to see the Boomers. Because it's just too good a set piece. It's too good a set piece to have them rolling up on the airbase and having to run the field of the mortar field. I think that's. I think that's definitely. I'll stake a claim in that. At one point, they're going to have to run because it's just too good a visual set piece for them to
I'll
refuse
join you
that.
on that claim. It's too damn good. And, I mean, and if not the boomers themselves, they can reference, hey, we walked by the lake where the plane was dragged out.
Yeah.
There's so many little small references.
Oh, that's a great question. Will we see the plane? At one point, they're just walking in the desert and suddenly a B-52 just, vroom, like.
Even better, do the damn reference where they're right by the lake, and then while they're like, well, why is all this weird stuff out here? It looks like someone pulled something out of it. Easy throwaway line where you just have a plane fly over their head right after that. And you're like, hey, call back so and so forth, foreshadowing, all the above, all kind of. Why not?
Yes. The Garrett twins. Yes. Yes, the Garrett twins. That's what I was looking for. Francine and James. Yes, I do think that we'll see them pop up at one point. And Fisto, the sex bot. Yeah, I think that's going to be like the bonkers part of the bonkers part of the season.
You think Garrett twins are highly likely?
I think they're highly likely. They're highly likely. At least maybe not referred to a name, but I think we'll see them.
Where did we sit on the Van Graffs? And good chance or maybes on the Van Graffs because they're probably dead.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they're or they will at least be name checked. And I think Cass is highly likely.
Yeah,
if we get any of the couriers, I think we're going to get the Garrett twins, and I think we're going to get Cass.
Yeah, that makes sense to me as well.
Yeah.
Who did Victor? Someone said Victor. What do you think about Victor?
Victor. Ooh.
Our own little personal yes man buddy.
Yeah, I think that's because
there's a lot of ways for him to be dead too.
No, I think we're going to see Yes Man. I don't think we're going to get Victor because Victor is just a skin or a persona of Yes Man. There's no reason for him to exist as
so
Victor.
Nah Man or maybe then.
I think we're going to get Yes Man. I don't think we're going to get Victor.
I like your reasoning. I'll join you.
Yeah.
Mike and Ralph are the king.
Oh, the Kings. We're definitely getting the Kings. I guarantee you we're getting the Kings because, again, great visual storytelling. Yeah. I mean, they have a whole aesthetic. They have a whole vibe. And honestly, they, no matter what ending, they could very easily still just have their own part of the strip carved out where they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah. No matter who actually won at the end of the day, they could have made a deal with whoever.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that
highly likely.
No, I think they're definitely. I think we're gonna get our post-apocalyptic Elvis impersonators. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm willing to stake a claim on that.
Okay, I'd probably stick with highly likely, but with the most infinitesimally small line that they have not crossed yet to get into definitely. Because there's just no way they're not. I just don't know if it'll be. No, I'd stay because once again, like we were talking about with the boomers, it's just an easy thing. Because when you're walking through the strip at one point, here you are.
Yeah, there you go. I just got jumped by a bunch of Elvis impersonators. What the fuck? Yeah, no, it's too perfect. And for the thing is that for people who know the game, it's great fan service. For people who don't know the game,
it's familiar.
It's familiar, but it's also like, well, of course, it's post-apocalyptic Elvis impersonators, but also, holy shit, post-apocalyptic Elvis impersonators. It's just too perfect a visual language. There, you don't leave that unspoken.
No, and if people aren't familiar with the games, like just the familiarity in general, it feels like a lot of what other Fallout stuff does is, oh yeah, this is definitely real, but there's a twist to it. It's nice to know that Elvis is actually real in that, so it kind of solidifies a little bit of real history just doing it. So
yeah,
it helps your average viewer and all of us have a little bit more fun. So do it. Definitely season 2. Shall we keep scrolling?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, yeah, so we had Cass. Ooh, Chauncey.
Chomps. Some of these are like, I think I shot these guys, but I don't know.
Yeah, most of them are going to be dead.
Yeah, Cook's
going to be dead, huh?
I don't need, I think Cook and his crew, are a possibility to show up, but I think that they're going to be a one encounter villain. I don't know about them being in there, but he's just such a despicable character. You almost can't not have him.
Well, you mentioned it. I don't even think he's worth putting on the list.
Oh, the white gloves. Yeah.
Oh,
the white gloves.
The white gloves are around. That would be
interesting. I think absolutely. I think if we're talking about visual storytelling language, having these guys who are, like literally all about the finery and having status and wealth even in a post-apocalyptic world, and literally having white gloves and white tuxes and stuff for dinner. I think you're definitely going to have that twisted kind of moment of like, oh, I had a friend for dinner. Yeah. I think you're going to have like some Anthony Hopkins level shit going on here,
which would be awesome to see. And just to finish on that cook kind of thought, I think you mentioned in the last stream, or maybe a stream of 2 streams ago, something like that, the LA charity stream, whatever it was. I could see them not doing cook because he's just dead, and all the other kind of like raider like leaders like him are totally dead as well. We all played the game. The courier killed them all. There's no way that kind of persona didn't get picked up by somebody else along the way that was a raider, and I feel like that might be a fun way. That's a nod. Like maybe
so it's not so much cook. It's more like son of cook.
The cooker or some stupid thing.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
So we already put Boone on here.
I do think, though, that the White Glove Society is definitely.
Yeah, let's do White Gloves.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. Thank you very much, Balloon Fart.
I don't know about definite, just because there's a lot of ways they'd be dead too, and they're not very friendly typically.
Yeah, but again, they're pretty isolationist, so.
That's true. They kind of just wait for their prey to come to them. Literally.
Yeah. And they're mafia-esque, so I think that they've got security on lockdown for themselves. I do feel like that. And the other thing is that it's just great visual storytelling of like, oh, we're going to have the protagonists for dinner. I could see the ghoul being like, we don't want to go there. And Ella being like, what? No, Lucy being like, what? It's fine. I'm sure this is great. And then suddenly it's just the moment on the bridge again with her screaming, why? Yeah.
And do what Quest said, Joe.
Yeah. So I think the White Gloves absolutely in season 2. Yeah. Again, it's just great visual storytelling between the factions. The Boomers, I can't believe these are all in one game. The Boomers, the King of the White Gloves.
Thinking back on it, then you add the DLCs and you have legitimately wonderful new things added in so many different ways as well.
I think if we get the White Gloves, we're getting the Omertas as well, by the way. I could see I could see them at least referenced in like a conference table kind of scene. Sort of like how they did all the heads of all the companies in season 1.
Did I spell that right? I probably butchered it. Is there
Omertas, and they're not Irish. They're Italian. Come on, man.
Well, highly likely, just reference-wise, even if they're not alive still.
Okay, we could put highly likely. They might just be generic Italian-looking guys in suits for all we know. So,
we got Daniel on here. Another Daniel. I don't necessarily remember
Dean
why.
Domino.
Dean Domino would be really cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a quick little thing, but I don't know if he's.
Oh boy, Deputy Beagle. I think we're gonna get Sheriff Beagle.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that here.
I think we'll get Sheriff Beagle, unless you made Fisto the sheriff.
Beagle. I usually do that. Oops. Yeah, he's almost a definitely.
Yeah,
that's just another easy location.
And Doc Mitchell. I think we're definitely getting Doc Mitchell. I mean, he'll be old. He was old to begin with, but I think we could see him.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Oh man, Dog God. Oh yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna see any named Nightkin. Really, if we do see any Nightkin,
I feel like he's kind of like a later iteration of the Nightkin and the Super Mutants. I feel like we're just going to get generic Super Mutant first, and maybe he's a season 3.
How likely are we to see Nightkin, you think? Because really,
towards the end of the season, I think it's more of a possibility. But then again, we haven't seen Super Mutants yet, and they seem to be
hard to do. Well, maybe.
I think we're going to see Super Mutants. I don't think we're going to see Nightkin unless they just roll them together. But that would they're not going to abuse canon like that because they know the fans will riot.
Well, is my only thought process is Nightkin really? They're just purple super mutants in a way.
They're super mutants addicted to stealth boys. So actually, no, I think it's a possibility. I think we'll put good chance for that.
Good chance, cool.
Yeah, okay. I think because they're just super mutants addicted to stealth boys, and at one point they're going to explain stealth boys too. You're going to see a bunch of guys just like decloak around somebody, and it's going to be like,
scare the shit out of Lucy.
Yeah,
or probably Maximus or Titus, Maximus, whatever. Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah,
Maximus.
I mean Titus is going to be our super mutant. So.
Oh yeah, and Maximus in a big suit of armor trying to have to fight everybody off or something might be interesting.
And so we have Maximus standing there going like, I got you outnumbered, like, and then he's got the big machine gun, and suddenly they're like 8 guys decloak around him, and it's just like,
and they're all giant super mutants, and
that'd just be like, fuck.
Yeah, he can take a punch or two, but it's a good thing our T60 armor now has the frickin' jetpacks in every single pair because necessary right there.
Yep, he'll be like, nope, evac, and he's out. Yeah, danger close.
Alex said, "Hit like if you don't have a 7th component." Y'all know, come on. Kid wise.
Yep. Are you human?
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Elvis isn't dead.
Well, that's a great way to tell if our viewers are synths or not. So yeah, right, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc is old, but he's still.
Oh yeah. Oh, Sonny. I think Sonny. We'll definitely see Sonny.
Yeah, there's no way we don't see Sonny Smiles. We could honestly do this for locations as well at some point. That might be cool.
Well, Good Springs is a no doubter. I mean, obviously. Oh, yeah. I mean, the town is standing right there, so
it's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
Oh, Dusty or Easy Pete or Eddie.
Oh, I think Eddie shows up at one point. Yeah. And I think Easy Pete probably going to be. He could still be around. He could still be kicking. Maybe. I think there's Easy Pete's a maybe. I think Eddie is a good chance. He might be dead. Yeah. Well, let's get to. We got about 5 minutes left today. Let's get a lightning round in here real quick. Let's just hit scroll randomly and let's see what we land on. On that list, or actually, and then also, chat. Who from Father Elijah is a guarantee? Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly, we don't even have to go back to the tier list. We can just see somebody and call it out real quick.
Yep, we're gonna do that. All right. So I think Fantastic. I think Fantastic is a good chance. Okay. I think Father Elijah's guarantee. I think he's definitely showing up. I think Fisto's a good chance. Follows Chalk. It depends on how it's tough with the DLC. I don't know if they're gonna keep it or not. But maybe. I think you know what he could show up as one of the factions. I think we might get Follow Shock and his people, or we might get the Great Khans. I feel like they
one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got.
Jason Bright.
Jason. I don't think so. Because his storyline kind of got resolved. He either blew up the shuttle or they went off to wherever. So I don't think we're going to get him. You might get reference to him. Yeah, Joe Cobb. Joe Cobb usually gets killed in all my playthroughs, so we're not going to get him. Let's keep
sneezing. Sorry.
Joshua Graham. I think we said he was maybe or likely
or a good chance.
Yeah. I think we will get the old Mormon fort. Julie might still be there. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the Mormon fort.
Yeah. I think Lanius is running the Legion. So, yeah, I think so. Lily. Yeah. I think Lily is a good chance. Especially if we. Yeah. I think Lily's a good chance, especially if we have the other Nightkin. I think she might be good super mutant representation. Marjorie, McMurphy, Marcus.
I don't think he'll be in there. That's kind of random for him to be in this list, but
yeah, I think he's referenced though in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Michelle, Mortimer, Motor Runner. Well, Mr. House is definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. House is definitely in it.
Hey.
I mean, and hey, there's our boy. There's the stranger. Okay.
Neil's pretty likely if we see a freaking mutant, honestly.
No Bark Noonan. I think that's a good chance. I think he'll show up as just an eccentric character. Absolutely.
Yeah, if not a highly likely on him, honestly.
Yeah. All right. McNamara. Yeah, I think McNamara is a decent chance.
It just depends on what happened with the Brotherhood.
Yeah, and what angle they want to go with. Oliver's possibility.
Yeah.
Well, he's just the guy who won the lottery, so he might show up at one point. It could be fun, like as a way to add depth to a character that's otherwise a blank slate.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
They do have the opportunity to do that with a lot of different just NPCs.
Yeah, exactly. President Kimball.
Yeah. He's
well, they don't tell you what happened with the NCR at the end of season 1. We just know that they're on their heels, so he might not be around.
Yeah. So how about old Prim Slim though?
Prim Slim, if we're getting Fisto, we're getting Prim Slim. You could reuse the set piece, just throw a cowboy hat on one of them. Yeah, I stand Danny Trejo as Raul. I absolutely do.
And if not somebody, because it's just such a good role. How about Kowalski and Lucy?
Oh, good question. I mean, we're going to see NCR representation here. I think it's a possibility.
Good chance. How about our boy Rex, though?
Oh, absolutely. No, I think that's almost a guarantee because you're gonna have Dogmeat and Rex, and I think that they're gonna be like sniffing each other, and Dogmeat's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
You think Rex and Roxy will be hanging out though?
Could be. Could be. That's a lot of CGI Cyberdog. That we know where the budget will be going then.
That's true.
So, yeah. Kara, Siri,
Snuffles.
I feel like we're gonna have some version of Snuffles.
Something.
Yeah.
They want to sell toys as well, and that might be a good way to do it.
Oh, dude, I'd love a line of McFarlane Fallout toys.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Sunny. I think we talked about Sunny. Tabitha. I don't think we're gonna get the Courier. I don't
think so either.
Because that would lock out way too much.
The Forecaster, I think we most likely see.
Yes. The King, absolutely, or some version of the King.
Somebody that's maybe taking it for him.
Yeah, Ulysses. I think it depends on where they go with Legion. I think we get Ulysses or Graham. I don't think we're going to get both, or unless it's Ulysses and Graham are at each other's throats. It could be interesting if Kaiser and Leggett are both gone. What if there's a civil war power vacuum over the Legion? That could be something that's affecting because if the NCR has been knocked on its heels, you'd think that they would that could be a great way to have the Legion be there without it being the Legion is dominating everything. So
yeah, I just noticed that. I keep having to go back. I can't see the chat because I'm scrolling down on this thing.
Yeah.
That's great. Vault Boy, Vault Girl.
Oh yeah, I think we got. Yep.
We get Vault Boy references. I don't know if we've got Vault Girl references, but I could totally see them just referencing.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I think they're going to continue to do that. I mean, Walton Goggins is the man anyway, so yeah. All right, and then
if we got 2, we might as well have Vindatron.
Yeah, no, I think we'll definitely get more of that.
We know we talked about Victor, and it's a possibility because it's just a reskin, but also Veronica is huge. Yay or nay?
I think good possibility.
I think so as well.
Again, it just depends on what storylines they want to pursue. I think we're going to see. I mean, I think we're going to see House, and I think we're going to see Yes Man. I think we're going to see everything regarding that, and I think we're going to see the strip and all the factions on the strip. And I feel like we're going to get a lot of the Legion, unless they just hand wave the Legion away and go, oh well, when Kaiser died, it all fell apart. But there will be remnants, and it's just it's too good a visual set piece of having these post-apocalyptic legionaries running around and just being like, what the fuck? It's just too perfect.
Yeah.
So,
See, my thought process is they're either going to go Legion heavy or Brotherhood heavy. And I almost feel like they're not going to go Brotherhood heavy since they went Brotherhood heavy season 1. And we know we'll get continuation of that one way or another. And then maybe Veronica is still that remnant of the Brotherhood that's out there. I feel like she's just a little more likely than Father Elijah, possibly.
Okay,
and then we almost follow the game route again, and we go back into the remnants of the Brotherhood of Steel, and they almost act as like the cavalry of season 3. Because if we're still in the New Vegas area in season 3, now the Brotherhood's probably moved with the Pridwin in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Booyah! Let's toss a little extra meat in there, and maybe these Brotherhood guys don't get along as well as we thought, and that might be a fun little like, okay, now we're truly entrenched with the Brotherhood. And now let's add some civil dysfunction without just Maximus.
Yeah. Will we get 5 seasons of Fallout? I hope so. I'm Mr.
Please.
6 seasons in a movie here. Let's do it. Volpes.
Please.
Oh man, yeah. I think we'll get Volpes in here. Absolutely.
He could totally be dead as well, but a variation of him, somebody like him.
Yes.
Walking Cloud and Yes Man.
Again, Walking Cloud depends on the storyline. I feel like Yes Man's a guarantee, and I think we're going to see Yes Man over Victor, unless Yes Man shows up as Victor in the beginning and then reveals himself. I think we could see the Victor persona as like, this is how we greet new people and new folks in the Wasteland, as like as like a, hey, everything's fine here, and now I'm spying on you. Yeah.
That actually be really neat.
Yeah.
Well, just for the sake of the fastest fire round ever, we don't have to go through the whole list, but just thinking about Fallout 4.
Who could be shown up from the Commonwealth?
I'm thinking maybe some Pridwin kind of folk. Arthur Maxon. It looks like the Brotherhood 1 or the Minutemen and Brotherhood 1 to some degree.
I don't know, dude. I feel like they should call me for Arthur Maxon at this rate. I mean, just I could rock it.
I'm saying.
I'll go hit the gym harder. Yeah.
Arthur Maxon being 6'4" and being able to, he's not that tall in the games necessarily, but you being able to like punch out a super mutant or something if it comes near you would be badass and add to a level of just.
I fill out a good.
Really.
Yeah. Cool. I could fill out a power armor suit pretty easy. Let's go.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see the Abernathy's move out to New Vegas at all. I think they're pretty happy.
Yeah, I don't think a Codsworth either.
Well, we did get Codsworth in season 1. Oh man,
yeah, we saw variation.
Paladin Dance.
How about Dance though?
It could be interesting. What if he moved out west to run from the Brotherhood, and he's just like living in hiding? Sitting there drinking alone. I was a paladin once. That could be your synth representation. Could be an interesting thing.
That's
Deacon in the Railroad.
Good thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody from the Railroad? Do you think synth helpers are making it this far out? Do you think there even are synths in the desert for the most part?
I think synths could migrate out there, but I don't know if the Railroad would.
Yeah. And that kind of takes a couple of these right here.
Yeah.
I don't think we see many of the Nuka-Cola gangs or any of them.
Nah. I feel like that. I don't feel like we're going to see much out of the Commonwealth here.
Me,
I really don't. Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of great characters, but I feel like that they would have to have like some sort of. I could see them running to the Commonwealth in a future season, 3, 4, or 5, or maybe even to the capital Wasteland. I could see that. I just, but I do think you're right. I do think we're going to see more characters from the Brotherhood move out west, because they did establish that's the Pridwin that came out. So that was flying over.
If we get a scene within the Pridwin, which would be kind of fun to see, and they're probably going to get some variation of an expanded budget, we could literally see all 3 of these guys fairly easily.
That's true.
And definitely Lance with Captain kills.
Yeah.
He'd still be, but that's if we get inside the Pridwin.
Do we think we'll ever see Liberty Prime?
Not in
flashback.
When they do a show on the East Coast, yes.
Yeah. Unless they establish that there's like some 50-story tall super mutant that they need to fight, and that's the only thing. And then we have a kaiju battle in the middle of New Vegas. Calling it now. Kaiju battle in the middle of Vegas. Liberty Prime versus kaiju super mutant.
Oh, beast, like a couple beast super mutants versus just straight up do like Lord of the Rings with the trolls and like the Oliphants, essentially.
Yeah, it could be fun. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm talking like honest to God, Liberty Prime versus giant super mutant in the middle of the desert. That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, but yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, why not? ¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué los? Yeah. Paladin or Pastor Clements? I think I could see Pastor Clements is kind of the type of role I would see Johnny playing within the Brotherhood, if that makes sense.
There you go. That's a possibility.
I don't know. I don't think we'll see any.
I think they're. I don't think we're going to see Piper or Preston. I don't. They're Commonwealth characters. They're Commonwealth.
Okay. Do you think we could see a newspaper? Procter Ingram,
maybe.
Oh. All of these guys are decent chances if we get on board the Predwin.
Yeah.
Scribe, Shank, not Shank.
Yeah, I think there was at one point supposed to be a gigantic ghoul that was cut. There's a ton of cut content for all these games. There's tons of cut content. So that could be an interesting way to reincorporate it.
And visually.
Yeah.
Man, you might as well.
Yeah.
The Soul Survivor's going to be there. No, he's not.
Yeah, but the question is it Nate or Nora? Yeah.
Probably Nate, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But it could go either way.
Well, Vault-Tec, I think we'll get more Vault-Tec reps. Absolutely. I feel like that's a character that'll show up. Especially in the flashbacks. Yep.
All
right.
X68 or Zeke. I don't think we'll get any Atom Cats or anything like that, but synth coursers.
Yeah, it could be interesting to see if the synths are starting to move west as a way to evade persecution. Yeah. Bark, yeah.
And there are a couple ways that could happen. They could be evading persecution because it doesn't look like the Institute won, and also the Brotherhood probably won. Who knows? The synths do have the what's the Misty Far Harbor DLC up there up top, so they have a place to go. But the Institute lost, so maybe it could be the Institute remnants of getting the hell out of Dodge and moving west, which could be interesting. And then maybe they're sending their coursers on that further out pattern. And hey, can we go this way?
Could be intriguing. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm running out of time here, so I got to get going. But I feel like there are so many fascinating storylines that they could go with here, and I'm really, really excited for season 2. I know it's going to be a ways off. We're looking at probably at least a year since principal photography probably just resumed. Still a chance for me to get cast on this show. Got to talk to my reps. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this week, guys. We will see you back in 2 weeks as we continue to discuss any new news and coming out about season 2 for Fallout. Who do you want to see? Please leave it in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Who do you want to see show up in season 2? Could be from anywhere. Could be from Fallout 1. Could be from the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout Tactics. Give us your most unhinged wish list of things that you want to see pop up in season 2, and let's see what's up. I'm really excited.
Characters from Fallout 1, 2, New Vegas, 4 that could all pop in.
Absolutely.
Fallout 3 is the least likely, but who's the most likely from Fallout 3, y'all think? Just for the sake of it.
Absolutely. All righty, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us this week on the Radical Wasteland podcast. I've been Greg the Ghoul. He's been Harris. We'll catch you in 2 weeks. Okie dokie.